Visitors come in from the open sea to explore these channels.
Here you can see glinting in the sunlight.
This young female is desperately searching for food.
Humans have lived on Earth for millions of years, but there's so much we still don't know. While archaeologists have made some of the most bizarre discoveries in history, you won't believe what they EVD discovered in ice. From digging up mummies and finding strange living organisms to spotting ancient forests buried under ice, in this video, we'll explore the top 15 strangest discoveries found on ice. Oty mummy. One of the most fascinating finds from melting European mountain ice is Oty the Iceman, who died 5,300 years ago in an alpine pass between modern-day Italy and Austria. Beside his mummified body, archaeologists uncovered a copper-bladed axe, an unfinished bow, plant fibers, animal hides, and leather pieces. Injuries, including an arrowhead in his shoulder and a deep hand cut, suggest he was ambushed. While Oty is among the oldest alpine discoveries, newer remains have also emerged. In 2017, a ski lift technician discovered a Swiss couple's mummified bodies near the Saint-Florent Glacier. Marcelin and Francine Dumoulin had been missing since August 1942, after leaving their Chandelin home to feed cattle. It's believed they fell into a glacier crevasse during bad weather, remaining hidden for 75 years. This is such an unusual discovery, but what's coming next will leave you speechless. Bygone Antarctic sea monster. As dinosaurs like the theropod Cryolophosaurus elioti roamed the Antarctic landmass, other reptiles dominated its waters during the Mesozoic era. Among these marine creatures was the largest known plesiosaur, an elasmosaur discovered on Seymour Island near the Antarctic Peninsula and described in 2019. This creature likely belonged to the southern hemisphere genus Aristonectes, recognized for its sturdier heads and shorter necks compared to other elasmosaurs. It may have reached up to 40 feet in length and weighed over 15 tons. The fossil, remarkably complete, dates to just 30,000 years before the catastrophic Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, which wiped out non-avian dinosaurs and other large species. This massive predator shows the rich and diverse Antarctic marine life before the Mesozoic era ended. Pair of Iron Age skis. After 1,300 years apart, two Iron Age skis are about to reunite, thanks to an unexpected discovery in Norway. In 2014, the glacier archaeology group Secrets of the Ice found a single ski at the Diggervarden ice patch in Rheinheimen National Park. Despite its age, the icy conditions preserved the ski, including its original binding where the skier's foot would have rested. At that time, it was one of only two skis older than 1,000 years with preserved bindings. The team spent the next 7 years monitoring the ice, hoping to find the other ski. Their patience was rewarded in September when they discovered the second ski just 16 feet away. Even better preserved than the first, this find was described as unbelievable by glacial archaeologist Lars Pilo. The children of the Inca. In 1999, a team of archaeologists made one of the most disturbing frozen discoveries ever on Mount Leuba, which lies on the border between Argentina and Chile. Inside a frozen tomb, they found the remains of 3 children who had been sacrificed around 500 years ago by the Inca. The children, 2 young kids, a boy and a girl, both about 6 years old, and a teenage girl known as Lala Doncella, the maiden, were left in a small chamber to freeze to death. Tests showed that in the months before their deaths, they were given a special diet of coca leaves and chicha, a corn beer. In the weeks leading up to their sacrifice, the children consumed these substances in large amounts, suggesting they were kept almost constantly intoxicated before their death. Ancient forests. When thinking of frozen discoveries, most people imagine artifacts or treasure. While those are exciting finds, the discovery of ancient forests adds a deeper sense of wonder about the mysteries still hidden on our planet. In 2013, a U.S. research team uncovered the remains of an ancient forest buried under more than half a mile of ice in Antarctica. Remarkably, this forest still supports microbial life that thrives underground today. Then, in 2017, more fossilized forest remains were found, offering further insight into Antarctica's green past. A 2020 research paper published on Nature.com revealed that 90 million years ago, Antarctica may have even supported its own temperate rainforest. This challenges what we thought we knew about the continent's history. What else can challenge existing knowledge like this? Stay tuned, you're just about to find out. Photos. While photography is only a few hundred years old, this discovery is still impressive. The photos come from Ernest Shackleton's ill-fated Antarctic expedition between 1914 and 1917. Shackleton's ship, Endurance, sank in the Weddell Sea, but another ship, the Aurora, was stationed on the other side of the continent. The Aurora carried the Ross Sea Party, a team sent to set up supply lines for Shackleton's planned trek across Antarctica. In 2013, a set of negatives taken by this team was found preserved in ice inside a hut once used by explorer Captain Robert Falcon Scott. These photos hold great historical significance, and this makes the find even more extraordinary. Life forms in a subglacial lake. We might live in a world of advanced technology, but ancient microbes have incredible survival skills. Lake Vostok in eastern Antarctica is covered by 2 miles of ice that has been there for over 15 million years. When the ice melts, the water beneath is unlike anything on the surface. It's pitch dark, highly pressurized, and colder than the usual freezing point of water. Despite this, thousands of tiny microbes have been thriving in these extreme conditions for millions of years. These microbes live in their own isolated world, 2 miles under the ice, completely cut off from everything around them. Their ability to survive in such harsh conditions shows just how resilient life can be, even in the most unlikely places. A tunic from the Iron Age. Fashionable? Maybe not. But when you consider how quickly modern clothes wear out, it's amazing that a piece of Iron Age clothing has survived for over 1,000 years. This tunic was found in Norway's Oppland County in 2011, and it dates back to between 230 and 390 after the death of Christ. Known as the Lendbreen tunic, this woolen garment is about 1,700 years old and offers a glimpse into the skills and lifestyle of people from that time. It even shows signs of being patched up by its owner, likely centuries ago. This discovery shows us that people in the Iron Age were more careful with their clothing and didn't easily throw things away like we might today. Is that why there are such things as hidden treasures? What you're about to hear will blow your mind. A treasury of precious gemstone. Finding a treasure chest in a frozen environment isn't something that happens often, unless you're playing in the land of dreams. But in 2013, a French climber made a surprising discovery on Mont Blanc, $300,000 worth of gemstones. These jewels likely came from 2 plane crashes in the area, one in 1950 and another in 1966. The climber, being honest, immediately handed the box of stones to the local authorities. The next year, a treasure hunter found even more jewelry, probably from the same crash, scattered across the mountain. It's a real-life treasure story that shows just how unexpected life can be. A graveyard of fish-lizard creatures. In 2014, scientists in southern Chile made an incredible discovery. Nearly 50 complete fossils of ichthyosaurs, ancient marine reptiles often called fish lizards. The name comes from the Greek words for fish and lizard, which is a fitting description. These fossils were found in Torres del Paine National Park, revealed by melting glaciers. The find included both male and female ichthyosaurs, and even some embryos, which was a huge surprise. To make things even more exciting, researchers also recovered soft tissue samples from the fossils. These unique creatures once lived in the oceans millions of years ago. It's one of the most significant fossil finds of marine reptiles in recent years. Woolly rhino. Everyone knows about the woolly mammoth, as it's the most famous Ice Age animal. The woolly rhinoceros, on the other hand, stays more low-key, even though it's often seen in ancient cave art from the Upper Paleolithic period. While it's not rare to find woolly rhino remains, discovering complete carcasses gets more attention, but finding a woolly rhino calf, that's a whole different story. In 2014, a calf named Sasha was found in the Sakha permafrost in Russia. After years of careful study and reconstruction, scientists still don't know if Sasha was male or female. What really caught their attention, though, was its surprising strawberry blonde fur, which continues to amaze the scientific world. You know what else is amazing? You're at the edge of your seat, and it's about to get even better. Leuba the baby mammoth. We all have a soft spot for prehistoric baby animals, right? Leuba, a mammoth calf, comes in second place, partly because mammoths and their elephant relatives are so popular. Leuba lived about 41,800 years ago in what is now Russia. She was found by accident in 2007 when reindeer breeders and hunters discovered her body while out in the field. Though she's not the only mammoth calf found, she's one of the best preserved ones ever discovered, with only Yucca, another mammoth found in Russia in 2010, possibly being just as well preserved. Leuba only lived for about 30 to 35 days, but her discovery has given us valuable information about mammoths. Atal darts. Picture an arrow. Now think of the longest arrow you've seen, whether in real life or in movies. Now imagine that arrow being much bigger. That's what an atlatl looks like. It's a weapon that's a mix of an arrow and a throwing spear. Atlatl darts were used with a lever-like tool to help launch them farther and faster. Interestingly, researchers believe atlatls came before the bow and arrow. In 2010, a melting ice patch in the Rocky Mountains revealed an atlatl dart, and experts estimated it to be around 10,000 years old. The people of the past might have been short on electricity and other technologies of today, but they were definitely not short on weapons. Millions of grasshoppers. In the Beartooth Mountains of Montana, there's a glacier called Grasshopper Glacier, and it's unlike any other. The glacier got its name because millions of grasshoppers, including the extinct Rocky Mountain locust, got trapped in the ice. Scientists think these insects were traveling in swarms when they got caught in strong blizzards and died on top of the glacier. The glacier sits high in Custer National Forest, 11,000 feet above sea level, and wasn't found until the early 1900s. Over the years, Grasshopper Glacier has shrunk a lot because of climate change, which has caused many of the frozen grasshoppers to melt and break down. But just before you think you've heard it all, the last one is sure to leave you shocked. 32,000-year-old seeds. Not everything trapped in ice is bad news. Some amazing things are waiting to be found, like the oldest seeds ever grown into a plant. About 32,000 years ago, a squirrel collected seeds from a Siberian plant, Silene stenophylla, before hibernating. Then, its burrow was buried in snow and ice. Years later, Russian scientists found the seeds and saw they were still alive. They tried growing plants from them, even though the oldest plants ever revived were only 2,000 years old. Surprisingly, they succeeded in growing a version of Silene stenophylla, which looked like the modern plant, but with different flowers. A box of jewels. In 2013, a French alpinist was climbing a big mountain called Mont Blanc when he saw something shiny in the ice. He got closer and found a metal box. When he opened it, he was very surprised to see that it was full of beautiful jewels, like rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. These jewels were likely from a plane that crashed many, many years ago, in 1950 or 1966.
The story goes back to 2013, when a French mountain climber found a metal box on the Bousson Glacier off Mont Blanc. It's not unusual for climbers to stumble across debris on the mountain. 2 Air India planes crashed into Mont Blanc in 1950 and in 1966.
The plane was an Indian Airlines flight, and it had crashed on the mountain, but nobody knew about the jewels until this climber found them. The alpinist gave the box of jewels to the police because he knew it was important to find the rightful owner. But after a long time, they couldn't find the original owner or anyone who could claim the jewels. So the authorities decided to split the jewels. They gave half of the jewels to the climber, and the other half went to the people who owned the land where the jewels were found. The climber's share was worth $340,000. What a shocking stroke of luck, right? Glacier Girl. Up next, we have Glacier Girl. Glacier Girl is a World War II P-38 fighter plane with an incredible story of survival and restoration. In 1942, during the height of the war, this aircraft was forced to make an emergency landing on a glacier in Greenland due to severe weather conditions. The crew aboard Glacier Girl managed to survive the ordeal, but they had no choice but to abandon the plane on the icy surface, as taking off from the glacier was impossible. For decades, Glacier Girl remained lost, buried under layers of ice and snow, forgotten by most, and assumed to be lost forever. But, in 1992, After 50 years of being entombed in the glacier, a team of dedicated explorers finally located the aircraft.
And another flight today is completing a mission that began back in World War II. The year was 1942, and one of the fastest planes of that era, a P-38, was forced down in Greenland and frozen in ice. All thawed out, the Glacier Girl is finally on its way to Great Britain tonight.
They discovered that Glacier Girl was approximately 268 feet below the surface of the glacier, preserved by the ice that had kept it hidden all those years. The process of retrieving the plane was a monumental task that required careful planning and immense effort. The team had to dig through the thick ice to reach the plane, and once it was uncovered, they transported it back to the United States. The restoration of Glacier Girl took 10 long years. The plane had suffered great damage from being trapped in the glacier for so long, but thanks to the dedication of aviation enthusiasts and experts, it was meticulously repaired. In 2002, Glacier Girl took to the skies once again, 60 years after it was forced to land in Greenland. The sight of the restored aircraft flying again was great proof of the strength of both the plane and the people who worked tirelessly to save it. Gold. When glaciers melt, they reveal many hidden treasures, including gold. During the last ice age, glaciers moved across the land, picking up rocks and sediments, some of which contained gold. As the glaciers melted and retreated, they left behind these materials, often in remote and hard-to-reach areas. Now, with the ice melting, these gold deposits are becoming exposed. The gold found in ice is usually in small pieces or flakes mixed with other sediments, rather than large nuggets. Prospectors are becoming interested in these newly accessible areas because they offer a chance to find gold that has been hidden for thousands of years. But the melting of glaciers also shows the bigger issues of climate change and its impact on our planet. While discovering gold in ice might seem exciting, it's important to remember that the melting of glaciers has serious consequences for ecosystems, sea levels, and weather patterns worldwide. Antarctic Ice Holes. In 2017, a huge mysterious hole called a polynya was discovered in the winter sea ice of Antarctica. This hole, known as a polynya, was especially strange because it formed far from the coast, right in the middle of thick ice.
UAE-sized hole opens up in Antarctica. Well, here's something you don't see every day. A nation-sized body of water known as a polynya has opened up in Antarctica.
Typically, polynyas are found closer to land, where ocean currents and winds can more easily break up the ice. The unexpected location and size of this polynya left researchers puzzled. It was roughly the size of the U.S. state of Maine, a large area to suddenly be free of ice in such a cold region. Scientists have tried to figure out why this polynya formed, and one theory is that it was caused by warmer, saltier water from the deep ocean rising to the surface. This warm water could melt the ice from below, creating the large open hole. But even with this theory, there are still many unanswered questions. For example, why did this happen in 2017, and why in that particular location? Some scientists think that climate change might be involved. As global temperatures rise, the oceans are warming, and this could lead to changes in ocean currents and ice formation. However, there is no clear evidence yet that directly links this specific polynya to climate change. It remains a mystery, and scientists are continuing to study the phenomenon to learn more. The presence of this polynya in 2017 also had potential impacts on the environment. With the ice gone, heat from the ocean was able to escape into the atmosphere more easily. This could influence weather patterns, both locally and perhaps even on a larger scale. That's not all. The open water in such a cold region could affect the ecosystem, changing the habitat for marine animals and possibly influencing the food chain. Inca children sacrifices. Believe it or not, some eerie discoveries have been found hidden in ice over the years. One of the most fascinating is the discovery of the Inca children sacrifices, known as the Children of Lula Ilaco. In 1999, Scientists found 3 well-preserved mummies on the top of Leuba volcano in Argentina.
They were discovered back in 1999 on the top of a very high volcano, about 6,000 meters high, so it's obviously very cold up there. And there were 3 bodies found.
These mummies were the bodies of children who lived over 500 years ago, during the time of the Inca civilization. What makes this discovery remarkable is how well preserved the bodies are. The cold temperatures of the high mountain kept them almost exactly as they were when they died. The Inca children were sacrificed as part of a religious ceremony. The Incas believed that offering these children to their gods would bring good fortune to their people. They hoped for things like good weather for their crops, protection from natural disasters, and other blessings. The children were chosen for this ritual because they were seen as pure and perfect. They were not just randomly picked, they were given special care and attention before the ceremony. The scientists who studied the mummies found that the children were healthy and well-fed before they died. This fact shows how important they were to the Incas. The discovery of the children of Leuba gives us a glimpse into the religious practices of the Incas. It shows the lengths they were willing to go to in order to please their gods. The fact that they sacrificed children, who were so highly valued, indicates how deeply rooted these beliefs were in their society. Ancient viruses. Ancient viruses have been discovered in ice, particularly in the permafrost of Siberia.
Well, there could be many such viruses hidden deep within the permafrost. The permafrost is a permanently frozen layer.
One example is the 48,500-year-old Pandora virus, found in 2022. These viruses have been frozen for thousands of years, and while they are not harmful to humans, their discovery raises concerns. As the Earth warms and ice melts, there is a possibility that other ancient viruses, some of which could be dangerous, might be released into the environment. These viruses have been in a dormant state for millennia, meaning they have been inactive. However, once they are thawed, they could become active again. Scientists are studying these ancient viruses to understand them better and to be prepared for any potential risks they might pose. Monitoring and researching these viruses is important to prevent any possible future pandemics that could arise if harmful pathogens are released as the ice continues to melt. Oty the Iceman. Like the Inca children, Oty the Iceman is another spooky discovery that was hidden in ice. Discovered in 1991 in the Ötztal Alps, on the border between Austria and Italy, Oty is a natural mummy.
Meet Oty, a unique look into our past. This is the perfectly preserved remains of a man who walked modern-day Italy around 5,300 years ago,
dating back to around 3,350 to 3105 BC. This makes him over 5,000 years old, and one of the oldest and most well-preserved mummies ever found. The cold conditions of the ice helped to naturally mummify his body, keeping his skin, organs, and even some of his clothes and belongings in remarkably good condition. Oty's discovery has provided scientists with a wealth of information about life in the Copper Age. His body showed signs of health problems, such as arthritis, and analysis of his stomach contents revealed that his last meal included grains and meat, suggesting a diet that was both diverse and rich in nutrients. DNA analysis showed that Oty was from southern Europe, giving insight into the migration patterns and ancestry of people from that time. He was also found with a copper axe, a bow, arrows, and other tools, which indicate that he was well prepared for life in the harsh outdoor environment. These items suggest that he was likely a person of some importance or skill, possibly a hunter or a warrior. The circumstances surrounding Oty's death add intrigue to his story. His body was found with an arrow wound, and the position of his body suggests that he may have been fleeing from attackers when he died. This has led to various theories about his life and death, including the possibility that he was involved in a violent conflict or was a victim of a robbery. The discovery of Oty offers an incredibly detailed and rare glimpse into the life of a person from over 5,000 years ago. From him, we learn not only about the diet, tools, and clothing of the Copper Age, but also about the challenges and dangers faced by people during that time. Otzi's story is a unique window into the past, providing valuable information that helps us understand the lives of our ancient ancestors. The C53 Sky Trooper Dakota. In 1946, a plane called the C53 Sky Trooper Dakota crashed on a glacier in the Austrian Alps.
The Dakota. Receding ice from a summer heat wave revealed wreckage strewn across the Gully Glacier. The C53 Sky Trooper crash-landed in the Bernese Alps 1 year after the end of World War II.
The plane was carrying high-ranking Allied officers who were fortunate to survive the crash. The crash happened after World War II, and it became a little-known story. For many years, the wreckage of the plane was buried under ice and snow. But, in 2012, the remains of the plane started to appear as the glacier began melting. This rediscovery of the plane wreckage has attracted attention because it is a significant historical find. The C53 Sky Trooper Dakota was an important aircraft during the war, used for transporting troops and supplies. Finding the wreckage after so many years provides insight into the past and offers a chance to learn more about what happened during that time. The discovery is not just a reminder of the war, but also an important archaeological find that helps preserve history: a new dinosaur species. In the 20th century, a group of Argentinian geologists made an exciting discovery on James Ross Island in Antarctica: the bones of a new dinosaur species. This dinosaur was later named Antarctopelta, which means Antarctic shield. The discovery was challenging because of the harsh, icy conditions, so it took the team 10 years to fully excavate the fossil. Antarctopelta was an armored dinosaur, similar to the Ankylosaurus, with bony plates on its back to protect it from predators. This dinosaur lived about 70 million years ago during the late Cretaceous period, when Antarctica was warmer and covered with forests, not ice. The fossil found in 1986 is still the only one of its kind ever discovered, making Antarctopelta a unique and important find for paleontologists. This discovery helps scientists understand more about the types of dinosaurs that lived in Antarctica and how Earth's climate has changed over millions of years. Grasshoppers. Strangely enough, grasshoppers have also been found hidden in ice. Grasshoppers found in ice are a fascinating discovery from Montana's Grasshopper Glacier. This glacier is home to millions of frozen locusts, which are a type of grasshopper. Scientists believe these locusts were trapped by a sudden winter storm centuries ago, freezing them in the ice. The locusts found here are from a species known as the Rocky Mountain locust, which is now extinct. These insects once swarmed in huge numbers, but they disappeared in the late 1800s. The discovery of their frozen remains in the early 1900s gave scientists a unique chance to study this extinct species. Unfortunately, as glaciers melt due to climate change, sites like Grasshopper Glacier are becoming rare. This means that these frozen insects might not be preserved for much longer, making the discovery even more special. Iron Age skis. In Norway's national park, scientists made an exciting discovery of two ancient skis that are about 1,300 years old. These skis were found frozen, remarkably well preserved despite their age. What makes this find even more special is that the skis still have their original leather straps and bindings intact. These straps were used to attach the skis to the skier's feet, providing a glimpse into the practical aspects of ancient skiing. This discovery is significant because it shows that skiing has been a part of Norwegian life for many centuries, even dating back to the Iron Age. The condition of these skis is extraordinary. Because of how well preserved they are, we are able to get important information about how people in southern Norway lived and traveled through the high mountains over 1,000 years ago. The ancient inhabitants likely used these skis for hunting or navigating through the snowy landscapes during winter. Such tools were essential for survival in the harsh, cold environments of the time. The discovery of these skis is a huge contribution to our understanding of early human life in the Nordic region, offering a fascinating glimpse into a time when skiing was not just a sport or a pastime, but a crucial part of daily life and survival in the harsh landscapes of ancient Norway. Frozen soldier from World War I. In 2004, the bodies of 3 soldiers from World War I were found frozen in a glacier in the Italian Alps. These soldiers were part of the Austro-Hungarian army and had been buried by an avalanche almost 90 years earlier. Remarkably, the cold conditions kept their bodies so well preserved that even their faces were still recognizable. This discovery was important because it gave people a better understanding of the tough conditions soldiers faced during the war, especially in the mountains where freezing temperatures, snow, and avalanches were common dangers. The frozen soldiers serve as a reminder of the harsh realities of World War I, particularly for those who fought in difficult and dangerous environments. The find also offers a rare and poignant glimpse into the past, allowing us to see the impact of the war in a very personal and human way. So, what do you think about these incredible discoveries? Do you know any more that weren't mentioned in the video? Let us know in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.